In the vast and unending expanse of the cosmos, where stars are born and galaxies dance in the silent ballet of space, the human race had long been considered a minor curiosity. To the more advanced civilizations that navigated the interstellar pathways, Earth was barely a footnote in the annals of cosmic history, a quaint little world teeming with life, yet primitive in its technological achievements. But everything changed when the Galdric Federation, a conglomerate of alien species known for their cultural sophistication and technological prowess, stumbled upon Earth during a routine mapping of the less explored sectors of the Milky Way. The Galdrecians, beings of pure energy encased in shimmering metallic suits, found humans amusing, almost pitiful in their daily scurry for survival and technological advancement. To them, humanity was like children playing in a sandbox, unaware of the vast universe beyond. Commander Zurilax, the lead scout of the Galdrecian exploratory fleet, reported back to his superiors. The species, known to themselves as humans, are technologically inferior but show a curious blend of resilience and foolishness. They are bound by gravity to their planet, yet they dream of stars. The High Council of the Galdric Federation laughed at the report. They had encountered many primitive species, but none as bold and as foolishly brave as the humans. The Council decided to send a delegation to Earth, partly out of scientific interest, and partly for amusement. They wanted to see firsthand the planet the humans had affectionately named Earth, which ironically translated in the Galdrecian tongue to Level 8 HellWorld. Upon their arrival, the Galdrecians' grand ship descended through the Earth's atmosphere, cloaked in invisibility to avoid causing panic. They landed discreetly in a secluded part of the Amazon rainforest, where the thick canopy could hide their vessel from prying human eyes. From their observations, the Galdrecians quickly learned that Earth was a world of paradoxes. It teemed with natural beauty and abundance, yet was scarred by wars, pollution, and widespread disparity among its inhabitants. The more they observed, the more intrigued they became by the human capacity to endure and innovate under such dire conditions. During one covert operation, Zrilax and his team witnessed a group of humans in a war-torn region working together to rescue survivors trapped under the debris of a collapsed building. The humans, covered in dust and blood, worked tirelessly, driven by a palpable sense of hope and solidarity. Zrilax, moved by the scene, transmitted his observations back to the Galdrecian ship. Despite their primitive tools and simple minds, these humans possess a remarkable spirit. They fight not just for survival, but for each other. The High Council, initially dismissive, began to view humanity through a different lens. Perhaps there was more to these Earthlings than their primitive technology and quaint ways of life. Perhaps their spirit and resilience were qualities even advanced beings could admire and learn from. As the Galdrecians continued their observations, hidden from human eyes, they started to understand the irony of their initial judgment. Earth was not merely a Level 8 HellWorld because of its hardships and challenges, but because it was a crucible of strength, courage, and unyielding hope. It was a planet where life was valued, and every small victory was a testament to the indomitable human spirit. With this newfound respect, the Galdrecians prepared to make their presence known to the world, uncertain of the reception they would receive, yet eager to bridge the cosmic gap between their species. Little did they know, their arrival would trigger events that would change the course of human history forever. In the cool shadow of the Amazon canopy, the Galdrecian delegation prepared for their first formal encounter with humanity. The area they had chosen for the meeting was remote, far from the nearest human settlement, minimizing the risk of an unintended large-scale revelation. They understood the fragile nature of Earth's societal balance and aimed to introduce themselves in a controlled, delicate manner. Zrilax, who had become deeply fascinated by human culture, suggested that the initial contact be made with a small group of Earth scientists, individuals who would likely possess the necessary temperament and intellectual curiosity to handle the shock of meeting an extraterrestrial species. The Galdrecians sent out a silent, encrypted signal, detectable only by the most sophisticated of Earth's technology, hoping it would pique the curiosity of those best equipped to understand it. Back on Earth, Dr. Lena Ortiz, an astrophysicist at a prominent observatory in Chile, intercepted the unusual signal during a routine survey of the night sky. The data was unlike anything she had ever seen, a structured series of pulses that defied natural cosmic phenomena. Convinced of its artificial origin, Lena shared her findings with a close circle of colleagues from various scientific disciplines. Together, they traced the signal to its source, the remote Amazon region. Under the guise of a research expedition, Lena and her team ventured into the dense jungle, equipped with the latest in communication and tracking technology. As they neared the coordinates from which the signal originated, a surreal sight greeted them, a clearing that shimmered slightly, as if the air itself was alive. The Galdrekians, observing the humans' approach, deactivated their cloaking technology, revealing their vessel, a sleek, iridescent craft that looked both impossibly advanced and eerily organic. The team halted in awe, their scientific minds grappling with the realization that they were on the verge of the most significant discovery in human history. Zrilak stepped forward, his form flickering with luminescent hues. In a calm, synthesized voice, he spoke, "Welcome, scholars of Earth. We come in peace and hope to share knowledge and perspectives beneficial to both our civilizations." The initial shock gave way to a barrage of questions from the humans. "How did you find us? What do you know about us? Why make contact now?" The Galdrekians answered patiently, explaining their mission of exploration and their accidental discovery of Earth. As the dialogue continued, mutual fascination grew. The humans were particularly interested in Galdrekian technology, which harnessed energy and matter in ways that defied Earth's current scientific understanding. Meanwhile, the Galdrekians were captivated by human creativity and emotional depth, qualities that their species had long overlooked in their own evolution towards pure rationality and efficiency. The meeting set the stage for what would become a series of exchanges. Teams of human scientists were invited aboard the Galdrekian vessel to witness technology that could clean water with a beam of light, harvest energy directly from stars, and manipulate gravity. In return, human art, music, and literature were transmitted to the Galdrekians, who found the expressions of human emotion profoundly moving. This burgeoning relationship, however, did not go unnoticed. Earth's military powers, having intercepted fragments of the communications between the scientists and the Galdrekians, began to mobilize. Suspicious of the aliens' intentions and fearful of the technological imbalance, a coalition of nations prepared to take decisive action to control or terminate the extraterrestrial presence on Earth. Unaware of the brewing storm, Lena and her colleagues continued their exchanges with the Galdrekians, each day unveiling new wonders and possibilities. As the collaboration deepened, Lena and her team of scientists spent increasing amounts of time aboard the Galdrekian vessel, immersed in an accelerated exchange of knowledge. The Galdrekians, led by Zrilak, had begun to tailor their technological demonstrations to address Earth's most pressing issues: climate change, renewable energy, and medical advancements. Meanwhile, the growing coalition of Earth's military powers, led by General Richard Mason, converged in a clandestine summit to formulate a strategy. Unbeknownst to the public and the scientific community, they perceived the Galdrekians not as allies, but as potential threats to global sovereignty and security. "We cannot allow these aliens to roam freely, sharing their technology without oversight," Mason argued. "We need to establish control, extract what's useful, and ensure they don't destabilize our planetary defenses." Back in the Amazon, the scientists introduced a project that intrigued the Galdrekians, a prototype for a clean energy reactor that mimicked photosynthesis. The Galdrekians, recognizing the potential leap in technological evolution for Earth, offered their insights into quantum coherence processes that could significantly enhance the reactor's efficiency. During one intense session on the reactor's design modifications, an encrypted transmission interrupted Lena's communication device. It was a warning from a whistleblower within the coalition forces, alerting her to the impending military intervention. The message was clear and dire: "Your location has been compromised. Evacuate immediately." The sudden realization of danger jolted the scientists. Zrilak, perceiving the distress through his sensors, demanded an explanation. Lena shared the warning, and the atmosphere aboard the ship shifted from one of cooperative enthusiasm to defensive urgency. Zrillax convened an emergency council with his officers. "The humans are divided," he observed. "Their leaders do not share the vision of their thinkers. We must prepare for possible hostilities while continuing our mission of peaceful exchange." Deciding against immediate departure from Earth, the Galdrekians implemented a series of protective measures around their landing site. Advanced cloaking fields were strengthened, and non-lethal defensive systems were activated. Zrillax communicated his decision to Lena, emphasizing his commitment to their shared goals, but preparing for the worst. In preparation for confrontation, Lena and her colleagues hastily downloaded as much data as possible from the Galdrekian archives. Information that could revolutionize science on Earth, whether or not the military succeeded in their intervention. They transmitted this data in encrypted packets back to secure servers across the globe, ensuring that the knowledge would survive even if they did not. The tension peaked when the first wave of coalition forces, equipped with the latest in aerial surveillance and armed drones, descended upon the Galdrekian ship's location. As they breached the clearing, expecting an easy target, the advanced cloaking field left them bewildered. Nothing but the dense jungle appeared before them. Zrillax, observing the confusion, seized the moment to initiate dialogue. He projected a hologram of himself just outside the perimeter of the cloaking field and hailed the approaching forces. "We are not your enemies," his voice echoed through the trees, carrying a tone of both strength and conciliation. "We seek only to share our knowledge for the betterment of your world." Caught between orders and the surreal encounter with the holographic alien, the coalition forces, the standoff in the jungle teetered on a knife edge. General Mason, aware that any misstep could escalate into an international crisis, opted for dialogue over conflict. He instructed his forces to stand down and established a secure communication link with Zrillax's holographic projection. "We acknowledge your peaceful intentions," Mason began, his voice betraying a mix of skepticism and intrigue. "However, understand our need for security. We propose a summit, a meeting with Earth's leaders to discuss your presence and intentions in a controlled environment." Zrillax agreed to the proposal, understanding the importance of building trust with the various power structures of Earth. "We will participate in your summit. It is our hope that through open dialogue, we can alleviate your concerns and explore pathways of mutual benefit." As arrangements for the summit were set into motion, Lena and her team returned to their respective countries, tasked with preparing their leaders for the historic meeting. The world remained oblivious to the impending disclosure of extraterrestrial contact, as both the Galdrekians and Earth's coalition worked to manage the situation discreetly. Meanwhile, Lena, feeling the weight of responsibility, briefed her government officials. Her insights into the Galdrekians' advanced technologies and their potential applications sparked a mix of excitement and fear within the corridors of power. Every nation involved began to calculate the political and technological advantages of alien cooperation, as well as the risks. On the day of the summit, held at an undisclosed UN facility, the world's most powerful leaders gathered, each accompanied by a team of scientists and military advisors. The Galdrekians, led by Zrillax, arrived in their ethereal, shimmering forms, their appearance causing a ripple of awe and anxiety among the human attendees. The discussions were intense and multifaceted. Topics ranged from technological sharing and environmental recovery solutions to arms control and the Galdrekians' long-term intentions. Zrillax, with measured words, explained their civilization's ethos of knowledge exchange and cosmic exploration, emphasizing their policy of non-interference and mutual development. The negotiations stretched over several days. Skeptics among Earth's representatives questioned the Galdrekians' motives, proposing strict controls and oversight on any technology exchange. Others advocated for a more open approach, arguing that this was a leap forward for humanity that could not be shackled by fear. Back in her home country, Lena worked tirelessly to analyze the data acquired from the Galdrekians, proving their technology's capabilities to address urgent global issues like climate change and energy scarcity. Her findings, presented in detailed reports and simulations, gradually helped to sway opinion among the undecided. In a closed session, A breakthrough occurred when the Galdrekians offered a demonstration of their environmental restoration technology. They revitalized a dying lake in mere hours, purifying its waters and reviving its ecosystem. This act of goodwill significantly shifted the diplomatic atmosphere, tilting the majority towards a pro-cooperation stance. As the summit concluded, a preliminary agreement was drafted. It outlined the initial terms of Earth-Galdrekian cooperation, including the establishment of a joint research facility where human scientists and Galdrekian experts could collaborate. This facility would serve as a testbed for technology transfer under strict ethical and security guidelines, monitored by an international oversight committee. With the agreement in principle secured, the leaders prepared to return to their nations to sell the deal both to their governments and to a public still unaware of the cosmic visitors. The task would require careful management of information, as the revelation of extraterrestrial life was bound to cause global shockwaves. Srilax, watching the human leaders depart, felt a cautious optimism. The summit had laid fragile groundwork for a partnership that could either blossom into an interstellar. As the news of the Earth-Galdrekian summit began to permeate through the highest echelons of global governance, the world braced for the shock of the forthcoming public announcement. Each leader crafted their approach, balancing the need for transparency with the imperative to maintain stability. The momentous revelation of extraterrestrial contact was planned meticulously, with synchronized statements set to broadcast across the United Nations platforms. Meanwhile, at the newly established joint research facility, a select group of Earth's finest minds teamed with Galdrekian experts to initiate the first wave of collaborative projects. The facility, equipped with state-of-the-art labs and surrounded by high security, became a beacon of interspecies cooperation. Here, under the vigilant eyes of both Earth security forces and Galdrekian sentinels, the two civilizations began to intertwine their knowledge and technologies. Lena, appointed as one of the chief scientific liaisons, navigated her role with a mix of excitement and the pressure of monumental responsibility. The early projects focused on integrating Galdrekian energy systems into Earth's grids, aiming to reduce carbon emissions and enhance renewable energy capabilities. Each successful experiment brought hope, but also a plethora of new challenges and ethical questions. The global announcement, when it finally came, sent shockwaves through societies worldwide. Initial disbelief quickly gave way to a myriad of reactions: fascination, fear, suspicion, and wonder. Religious and philosophical communities entered debates about humanity's place in the universe, while political factions argued over the implications for national sovereignty and security. In an effort to control the narrative and quell rising anxieties, the UN hosted a series of public forums featuring live demonstrations of Galdrekian technology and Q&A sessions with both human and Galdrekian representatives. Srilax himself addressed one of these gatherings, his translated speech emphasizing peace and shared prosperity. The visual of his luminous, fluctuating form on screens around the world became a symbol of the new era humanity was entering. Back at the research facility, a significant breakthrough in medical technology emerged. Galdrekian bioengineers introduced a device capable of early detection and precise treatment of previously incurable diseases. The device, however, required a level of biological data integration that raised privacy concerns. Debates erupted over its deployment, highlighting the delicate balance between technological advancement and ethical boundaries. Amidst this scientific renaissance, underground groups of dissenters and conspiracy theorists grew in numbers and influence. They propagated fears of alien domination and exploitation, sparking protests and violent incidents around the globe. Governments struggled to combat misinformation while striving to demonstrate the benefits of their newfound alliance. The security situation deteriorated when an extremist group launched a coordinated attack on the research facility, believing they were thwarting an alien takeover. The assault was repelled, due to the advanced security protocols and Galdrekian defensive technologies. But the incident left a scar on the project, forcing an escalation in security measures and a reevaluation of how sensitive information was shared with the public. Lena and her team faced mounting pressure to deliver tangible benefits to help sway public opinion positively. The energy projects expanded, with several prototype plants being constructed in various countries, showcasing the environmental and economic impacts of the collaboration. As each nation grappled with the new normal of living in a world openly connected with an alien civilization, the fabric of international politics shifted. Alliances realigned, with countries banding together based on their stance towards the Galdrekians. A new geopolitical landscape was forming, underpinned by the shared benefits and perceived threats of the extraterrestrial relationship. The path forward was fraught with complexities, but for every setback, there was a leap forward in understanding and integration. Humanity was on the cusp of a new age, its destiny intertwined with that of the Galdrekians. As they stood together on the frontier of this uncharted era, the promise of the stars seemed closer than ever. As the integration of Galdrekian technology into Earth's infrastructure progressed, the world began to witness unprecedented advancements. Prototype energy plants, now operational in several nations, demonstrated the potential for a near-limitless supply of clean energy. These developments spurred a global economic boom as industries transitioned away from fossil fuels, reducing carbon footprints and creating new markets centered around sustainable technologies. Despite these successes, the road was far from smooth. Public opinion remained divided, with ongoing protests and debates about the ethical implications of such rapid technological integration. Governments and international bodies worked tirelessly to establish regulatory frameworks that could keep pace with the innovations being introduced. The Joint Research Facility continued to be a hub of both progress and contention. A breakthrough in agricultural technology offered a solution to world hunger, using Galdrekian bioenhancement techniques to produce crops that could grow in arid, previously barren regions. However, this led to fierce debates over bioethics and the safety of genetically modified organisms. Trials were rolled out under strict supervision, yielding promising results that slowly turned scientific curiosity into cautious optimism. In the geopolitical arena, the new alliances formed around Galdrekian cooperation had started to stabilize. Countries that embraced the alien technology experienced significant boosts in their economies and quality of life, which in turn encouraged more nations to join the cooperative efforts. However, a counter-coalition of nations wary of too much reliance on alien technology formed, advocating for Earth's technological sovereignty. This division marked a new kind of Cold War, one defined not by armament races but by a race towards or away from extraterrestrial integration. Lena, now a prominent figure in the scientific community and an advisor to the UN, worked to mediate between different factions. Her efforts were focused on education and transparency, believing that informed populations would make choices based on understanding rather than fear. She participated in public broadcasts, explaining the technologies and their benefits, and addressing the ethical concerns involved. As the 5th anniversary of the Earth-Galdrekian Summit approached, a grand event was planned to celebrate the achievements and outline future directions. Leaders from around the world, along with representatives from the Galdrekian Federation, gathered at the United Nations headquarters. The event was broadcast globally, aimed at showcasing the successes and setting a course for the next phase of cooperation. During the summit, a new initiative was unveiled, a plan to establish the first human Galdrekian settlement on Mars, using the combined technologies to create a sustainable habitat. This project was presented not just as a technological endeavor, but as a symbol of unified aspirations. It aimed to extend humanity's reach into the solar system, fostering a shared sense of discovery and destiny. However, the event took an unexpected turn when an extremist faction managed to hack the broadcast system, airing a manifesto that condemned the Galdrekian influence on Earth. The manifesto claimed that humanity was losing its independence and falling under alien control. This act of defiance sparked a brief period of chaos, which was quickly quelled by joint human-Galdrekian security teams. In response to this disruption, Zrillax took the stage, his form shimmering more intensely as he addressed the global audience. "The path of progress is never without obstacles," he began, his voice resonating with a calm authority. "But let us not be swayed by fear. Together we have achieved what once seemed impossible. Let us continue on this path, not as rulers and subjects, but as equals, with respect for our diverse heritages, and a shared commitment to our common future. The speech, widely regarded as a pivotal moment in human-alien relations, helped to soothe tensions and reinvigorate the global commitment to the partnership. As the summit concluded, the plans for the Mars settlement were ratified, and a new chapter in human history was set in motion. In the years that followed, Earth saw